The lawsuit against Netflix's Baby Reindeer by the alleged real-life Martha, Fiona Harvey, just got a lot juicier as its star and creator Richard Gadd has now responded in a lawsuit and has revealed lots of emails and voicemails from Fiona Harvey, including this one that seemingly explains why Piers Morgan has been defending her so much. By the way, Piers has a great bum, pinched it last night. What? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. I tease Piers a little bit because I am hoping this is a different Piers. But Piers, you got some splaining to do, and I will be asking him because I'll be back on Piers Morgan Uncensored tonight, where we will debate all of this again, and I am ready to take the gloves off and defend my stance. I think Fiona Harvey is a mess. But the problem is this argument of duty of care. Does Netflix bear some responsibility? Will they have to pay her? Many say yes, but now Richard Gadd is coming forward, revealing more, and I think it changes everything because it does prove the gist of what was true in this show. The biggest takeaways, the biggest accusations against her, to me, are justified based on seeing this correspondence and the proof that there's actual other witnesses involved, producers from shows that had bar her from shows, and it basically proves all the lies she told to Piers Morgan. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him to see where he still stands, because sure, there's a duty of care, there is an argument, there is a lawsuit here, but I think a lot of this really shows how troubled she was. And yes, there should be a duty of care for Richard as well, which they didn't protect him. So let's go through what he said. Now, he says, I used real trauma as the basis for Monkey See, Monkey Do, and Baby Reindeer. These were stage shows he did first, while creating character scenes, dialogue, and dramatic devices to support the fictionalized story. In other words, although these stage productions were emotionally true and based on real events in my life, they dramatized people, places, and things, and events to tell a story. The series was based on the stage production of Baby Reindeer. The series reprises characters, scenes, and dialogues from the theater version and is a continuation of my exploitation of SA, manipulation, exploitation, stalking, self-loathing, obsession, etc., etc. The series is dramatic work. It is not a documentary or an attempt at realism. While the series is based on my life and real-life events, it is at its core emotionally true. It is not a beat-by-beat recounting of the events and emotions I experienced as they transpired. It is a fictionalized and not intended to portray actual facts. Well, the series is my emotional true story. It's like my truth. Is it the truth? Because again, the issue here is the show says based on a true story. What does that mean? Now, the end of the show always says some of these events have been dramatized, but that's what the jury's gonna have to decide here. This is an emotionally true story. As I recall and recount, it is not intended to depict any real persons. That's why I created fictionalized characters, including Martha and Donnie. That's a good argument. It's never named Fiona. I intentionally used characters that did not share the actual names of any persons from real life and wrote fictionalized dialogue and scenes. Well, this is where he does lose me. He wrote that curtains line, and that's how they found her on Twitter. Now, was that fair? Should he have had to censor that? She posted it publicly. She could have deleted it. That's going to be where the big debate is. It was very easy to find her based on the hanging of the curtains. I used my experience to craft the Martha character specifically to both feed into Donnie's desperate need for attention and self-esteem issues and challenge him in ways to make him confront his past SA and his effects on him. He also makes this whole point of he ended the show with him crying at a bar, getting a drink from free, just like Donnie first met Martha. He was trying to make it so neither was truly the aggressor nor a victim, is how he wrote it. And I agree. At the end of the day, he almost makes Martha seem better than Fiona because Martha accepts responsibility at the end when they give her that verdict, which granted, she wasn't actually convicted in real life, it seems. He doesn't ever say that. He doesn't ever admit that here. This is an expression on my views of stalking, harassment, SA, told through the lens of my own experiences, emotions, and self-reflections. I did not write the series as a representation of actual facts about any real person, including Fiona. Fiona is never mentioned. Now he goes in to explain his experiences with Fiona. And this is the first time we get to really hear with him what's the truth. And it's juicy, guys. Following the first meeting where he met her, she then stalked and harassed him through 2014 to 2017. She appeared at the pub. She quickly became clear that she had memorized his shift pattern, hanging around the pub constantly. The behavior grew concerning for him. She would often try to engage with me by repeatedly trying to make jokes or banter. She would tell customers of the pub that I was a comedian and sometimes adopt smutty innuendos to try and embarrass me in front of staff. I engaged with Harvey and her jokes, viewing her as harmless, but it soon became exhausting, and I quickly grew frustrated at her continual and unrelenting presence in my work life. There was a particularly intense period of time when Harvey often attempted to touch me in inappropriate and sometimes sexual ways. Harvey pinched and touched various parts of my body, including my bum, and was very handsy. I asked Harvey to leave me alone and refrain from making these advances on several occasions. However, she ignored my requests, and as with her wilder behavior, she was persistent and relentless. Now, this is key, especially if he had fellow waiters or people at that restaurant that can attest and tell this story. Well, then that's not going to help her case where she says, I never did any of that stuff. Granted, there's a scene at the bridge or whatever, but I think if she's doing this in the pub in addition and not respecting those boundaries and being handsy as this, well, then the story is true. Around 2015, Harvey became increasingly hostile towards me and others at the bar. Matters escalated when I confronted Harvey in the pub for falsely telling one of the regulars that we had relations. She took it badly. She mentioned to a customer that I had about a bad review of me, which she'd seen online. I resorted by referring to news coverage I had seen regarding her harassment of former member of parliament, Jimmy Ray, and his wife, Laura Ray. She left the pub. She came back and then shoved him in the neck. She screamed at him, your mouth's going to get you in trouble. She was furious. I had found her demeanor intimidating. The interaction was threatening, but I was embarrassed and angry that she affronted me in such a physical and public manner. As matters escalated, her visits to the pub became increasingly intense. At times, he would have to hide in the basement. A lot of the staff were intimidated by her too, tried to adopt different measures to get her to leave, to not escalate things further. She would tell staff that I was not working or leave, pretend I was left the bar. Nothing deteriorated her. Sometimes she would wait outside the pub for him to finish. She would follow him around town, sometimes close to where he lived, and she attended many of the comedy and theater performances he put. He would then turn up and occasionally be disruptive. Producers had to then go around warn the audience, sometimes telling them to leave and come back to try to avoid the stalker. So we got multiple witnesses to show she was showing up at various shows, which she denied to Piers, and was being disruptive, which she also denied to Piers. And so there are multiple visits. She even says these production managers are there at multiple venues, clearly implying that they would also be available to attest and tell the truth of the story. Harvey then obtained his email address from his website, which he didn't realize was going to happen. And that's when the email started. Thousands of emails, he say, all hours of the day. I never engaged or responded or referred to Harvey's emails because I feared it would only make matters worse, that she knew I was receiving them. She sent thousands of emails, hundreds of voicemails, and a number of handwritten letters. These communications often included explicit, derogatory comment, hateful stuff, and threats. I received here just a fraction is what he's telling us he's sharing here with the police and in this thing. So here's the first one. Let's get to these emails. The first one labeled Yummy Mummy. That's right. Yummy Mummy, it's detailed here. Where he then goes and she goes, I see your mum on Twitter. I looked up yours to see what's going on in your head and retweeted her. She looks normal and happy in the seaside photo. Hair's better blonde. She could get a boy toy. Like what? This whole trimester is busy. Working on my work will be serialized. Aim is going to make as much cash. I'm still very angry and upset with you. You did not discuss that me in that vile little pub. You owe me a written apology. Professionals are such as me are now taking over the country. There will be, and look at all the spelling errors. There'll be a Tory victory, and this will snap and gain 20 seats. Anyway, you can read more and more. It is very erratic. It continues to be erratic. And he's very troubled now that she's bringing up his mother, his yummy mummy. The emails continue getting very derogatory and bad. This is, here's another one. I like this photo of you sleeping on Twitter. You look better, though. This stuff gets very intense. Here's one of the handwritten letters. Sorry, I'm trying to organize. There's a lot here. But she says this. I got to be careful. I don't even think I can read this, guys. I hate Muslims. Noise like animals. They should all be, I can't even say this. This is awful. This is awful what she's writing here. And yes, this is in an email I have. They're all over here, man. It's hard to go through them all because we'll probably get in trouble. Yeah, they should all buy the balls and on trees. It's troubling. It is extremely troubling, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. No wonder I'm racist. She admits she's racist multiple times. Things I can't say out loud. I can't stand this gay business. It makes me squirm. Awful, awful stuff. Threats, personal attacks, and various emails that she writes about what's going to happen. Move back to Glasgow. I can't say the words, guys. It's there. You can pause it. On January 25th, she mailed multiple page handwritten letter, which was barely legible. We have that letter right here. Again, I had trouble reading it myself, but I'm sure this can be proven to be her handwriting, which would be problematic for her. The letter claimed she did not read emails because she was allergic to emails, called him a prick, and demanded that I call her because she was fed up with all the fanning about. More threats. There's another email. My gosh, this stuff is just bad. Here's one. You had played with my emotions more permanently. You bitched about totally me, all sorts of people. You asked me out. I said no. Thank F, because you are gay and I'd have AIDS. Now that is my final word. Go away. Lovely, lovely person she is, isn't she? Harvey frequently made threats, physical violence in her emails, talking about buying weapons and getting rid of people, specific mayors of London. The first mayor that held the position. She really doesn't like Muslims. Harvey also sent emails discussing her plans to run for political office and how she was going to claim up 4 shirtless seats in parliament. Okay, lady. Harvey also sent emails describing her troubled interactions with others, including that email to Piers. I assume it's a different Piers. Piers, right? But we're going to ask Piers later. Harvey also regularly propositioned me with lewd and explicit language. She emailed, I want to S your C all day. If you shag me and have a stab at this, and threaten me with an ultimatum demanding S 3 times at night and twice in the morning. I just want to give you loads and loads of BJs to make you sleep. I have those emails here. In fact, let's go through a couple of these crazy emails. I love Trump. I love Trump. Trump keeps her going. Glad I went to S your D all day. My brain's effed out. Edinburgh is not ideal for me in this time of day. Just for the record, I have multiple O's because I train my men up S-ly. So in your shows, when you said you give your mom one, poor mom, it's a technically flawed, your show. It's a good laugh, but my bum will not recover from that chair. Maybe I should sue. I've pleasured myself looking at photos of, I can't even say that. I can't even say that. Like, what? And she's calling him the P word. Now I'm going to have a drink so I can cope when they tell me the wee poison dwarf has won. I've done everything possible to calm me down. To be honest, it's up to you, but I want to S your C all day, have you shag me, and have you stab at this. It's totally up to you. I need to get this place sorted out, and F loads work to do. But you know, I'm available if you want to do it. Hi, my Itoris dropped off. Too much M pleasure. I hope you managed to avoid the stray bin lorries. Look at this. She just pivots. I got all court dates coming all over. Hope you and your mad as head as well. Going to Holly, Hogmanay, Partney. Why don't you come? My internet has been down. I very much want to emigrate yesterday to New York. Dude, her stuff is like all over the place. All over the place. It's wild. Frankly, I'm not surprised. You're a very big enemy in the acting world. I'm not going to tell you who, but they're saying you are image and again in the butt. Frankly, I'm not surprised. Narcissists are like that. Got to go snip and have you selected some very good women, Sister Cherry and Natalie. I can't even, it's just like her Facebook post. Take the seat of blah, blah, blah. Everyone's saying you are a wee yap deer. They've started demolishing the crap out of Camden. God, Camden is going. Camden, blah, 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 blah. You guys are getting the gist of this, right? She sent numerous emails discussing her body. Obviously, I'd let your bum. That is the loveliest bum ever. You still have a cute ass. I thought thinking about your ass is your best bit. You do have a great ass. This is multiple emails when she said she didn't find him attracted to Piers. Lies. More lies. My sweetness, I do love your hair and your bum. Oh, Richard Gadd, your bum. You've got the best bum I've ever seen. Your bum, incidentally, is the best bum I've ever seen in a guy ever, and I've seen some nice bums. Crackin' ass you have. She really likes Richard's bum, and she denied that. So she's lying. Also, emails with photos of herself in her underwear were sent. More photos of her underwear as well as her underwear was sent to Richard. Frequently describes her menstrual cycle, her pubic hair, her habits of pleasuring in detail. I'm clotting badly. I think it's safe to say I'm not menopausal, baby. Like, what? This blood loss is excessive. Should have kept it all in a jar to show the doctor. Jesus. I laugh, but this is crazy. This is crazy and scary. Email me that she had looked up photos of cute baby. Yeah, what? Why? I can't say that. It goes on and on and on. Emails and social media posts demonstrated she was regularly attending his performances. The police warned him that the police intervention might exacerbate the situation and lead to further prolonged contact. They recommended that they refer to her to an appropriate mental health community intervention rather than issue the first instance of warning. He agreed with them, and the harassment had become less frequent, so she agreed not to. He didn't do anything at that point. However, then hundreds of more emails came. More examples of it just never ends. Her itchy pubic hair. It's a rash. I've wanted more S in my 40s and more S, and it's just gross. This is gross. He didn't ask for it. Why are you still writing this stuff? This is harassment. I would say this is S harassment. Due to Harvey's frequent threatening visits to the pub, first instance of harassment warning had been issued against her, listing the pub as the victim. That is in the exhibit. We have that exhibit as well. Exhibit 44. I don't have that one on hand. There's so many exhibits, guys. I'm trying to gather it all. But proof that she did finally issued a warning. She was then served by the police. So that's close to being not convicted, but admitted a warning, stop harassing. But at that point, after that, she then obtained his phone number. He apparently had done a going away email, which listed his number, which he forgot about. And then suddenly the voicemail stopped. She obtained the phone number, calling me hundreds of voicemails after she had already received the warning. I do have a record of all the voicemails. I don't have all of them, but I have hours of voicemails from Harvey that I've recorded and still have. Graphic details about her exploits, catching STDs, threats to him and his family. This is bad stuff, Fiona. This is really, really bad. Nice try. Harvey left hours of voicemails. As my voicemail cut her off, she would immediately call and leave another. Harvey also threatened him not to tell the police about the voicemails because she had access to the police files. She complained she complained that undercover police officers, drug dealers, lawyers were all after me and that the comedy industry hated my guts. Harvey threatened me with physical violence, saying she would smash his privates in. It just keeps going. It keeps going. It's so vitriol and disgusting what she's writing him after she's been warned. September, I emailed the police informing them she left hours of voicemails. I prepared documents outlining particular threatening, aggressive moments from voicemails, coordinated with the police a handoff of an SD card with all the recordings. All like in the show, Harvey left me another string of voicemails. She claimed to have information on my family and once again warned me not to speak to police, saying she was angry. So now she's threatening the family, his own family, and we're supposed to worry about it. Netflix's duty of care about her. 25,000 steps ahead of you. I would create World War III. Also admitted I'm a racist and wanted to boot all the Pakistanis out of the country. This is how her thinking is all over the place. It continues. I'm going through some of the most important pieces. On September 27th, 2016, she left this threatening voicemail. I cannot express how angry I am at you the way you set me up. I know about you and your family. Stay in effing Croatia. And that is really my final word. I bloody mean it this time. I think you've got psychiatric problems, but I think it's made up and caused by drugs. F off. Yeah, absolutely F off. She claimed I have information you don't need to know. I know about you and your family. This is scary. So all of this was given to the police. The harassment had been plaguing my life for over 2 years. I was fearful, constantly changing my daily routines. I could not sleep. When I did sleep, I'd wake up in night sweats. I spent countless weekends noting down his threatening emails. I was panicked and paranoid, worried she might harm me or my parents especially. It took an extensive toll physically, especially my mental well-being. Harvey's action was enormous, exhausting, upsetting to deal with. Her personal interactions, yada, yada, yada. After many months of speaking to the police, I eventually obtained a first instance harassment warning against Harvey. After I obtained that warning, the emails and voicemails stopped. But the behavior did not stop completely. For example, Harvey sent another handwritten letter with her underpants. You've not unblocked your email, so have not checked my emails. Here are some lucky underpants. Gross. I've sent you good wishes. Throughout my in-person interactions, I asked her on a number of occasions to stop the unwanted behavior. I asked Harvey to stop attending my gigs, and she's trying to reason with someone who knew no bounds. He didn't want to change his email. He didn't feel like he had to do that. It was her job to stop. Anyway, it continues. He then explains his knowledge of other victims harassed by her. continues to explain more. And then at the end, talks about the fact that, she revealed herself. And he was shocked by that. I was surprised that Harvey appeared on Piers Morgan, though I'd only watched certain segments. I understand she claims that she was the inspiration for the Martha character and that she never sent thousands of emails. She harassed and stalked me over several years, and since her interview, and other individuals have contacted me through my agents and publicists saying they were also harassed by her, but they were all too scared to come forward. I declare all this under penalty of law. This is foregoing and true. So there it is. It's a lot to digest, but it's also very shocking. And guys, I can't even read all the emails. We're 20 minutes in, and there's even more. We're going to go through our live today, more of this. We're going to discuss this as well as some other stuff about the words I can't say. We always do in our lives. So if you want to make sure you don't miss more of the conversation, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up, and let me know down below. The big question is, will Netflix win? Will Fiona actually get some money out of this? Every time I go on Piers to talk about this, him and Mark Garagos go, yeah, she's got a shot. I'm going to push back today. I hope to have a good dialogue. I'm going to ask about that Piers email as well as some more, because I just don't understand why we keep defending this woman. There's enough here to see that the gist of this story is true enough to know that she is a stalker. Whether she was convicted officially or not, I don't think that changes things. That wouldn't have changed my opinion of her. It's all the other stuff that's seemingly confirmed by these emails and voicemails that he's provided the police, warnings that were given to her. I think it's true enough. I would be shocked if she wins. If she does, I'll be very frustrated. But what do you think? Did they offer her more? Should they have offered her more duty of care? Should we be ignoring Richard Gadd's pleads? I want to hear your thoughts down below. We got so much more to report on. Join us live later. Don't miss me on Piers Morgan Uncensored later today. And thank you guys so much for watching.